All right, so Helen, we'll just go ahead and they're pushing it to Facebook Live right now, and it looks like we're good to go.
Okay.
So, hi guys, my name is Scott Royal Smith. You guys know me. I'm the owner of Royal Legal Solutions. Right now, we're giving away free LLCs. All you have to go to is royallegalsolutions.com/free LLC. Go ahead and claim that today. I am with a good friend of mine, Helen, today. Helen is one of the foremost experts in estate planning, guys. She's going to be able to tell you all kinds of great information today of what are the things you need to know about estate planning so you can take action on today, and we can get the whole thing kicked off for you with just as little as 48 hours. That's what we specialize in, guys, is how to do the easy wins of the things that you know you need to be doing. From my experience as being an investor as well as an entrepreneur, I can help guide you guys through that very quickly and easily. And Helen's going to give us some more information about that here today on what are the finer points of estate planning that you're going to need to be able to think about. So when you contact Royal Legal Solutions, you're going to know exactly what it is. But contact us today. You're going to be able to talk with Helen, talk to our staff, and be able to get all that great information for exactly what it is you need. So Helen, take us through what is it that estate planning needs are for entrepreneurs?
Well, you know, it's interesting because as a business owner, people don't normally think of as many things as they should. They think of all the things, associated with their business, but they just are too busy to thinking about today than to think about the future. But quite frankly, your business owners are very unique in that they have their whole business is all rolled into their estate. And so it's a very integral part of owning a business to make sure that your estate plan is up to date. We have shown, according to Forbes magazine, 30% of business owners have no estate plan right now. And I mean, one of the ones that do, they haven't updated their plan recently. So it's very important to make sure that your business runs smoothly in case something happens to you. Make sure that everybody knows how things are supposed to proceed. So it's one of the most important things for a business owner to have.
That's awesome, Helen. So I was wondering about that. Is like, where does that come in for, why is it as a business owner that it becomes important?
Well, because of the fact that their company is an integral and considerable part of their estate. I mean, people just when you think of estate planning, a lot of people just assume that means, your will and where your personal assets are going to go once you pass away. But business owners are unique in the sense that they don't work for someone. They have their own company that people work for them. And you want to make sure that is going to continue after, in case something happens to you. Too many people say that they haven't done estate planning because the topic is so difficult to deal with. But quite frankly, it's a discussion that each one of us needs to have with our family, with our business partners, whatever it happens to be. There's tax concerns, there's, all sorts of things that people have to look into. And when you own a business, you're not only paying your own personal taxes, you have business taxes and franchise taxes and all kinds of things that you have to consider.
Awesome. Cool. So what else do we have on here?
Well, I wanted to say that also, even if people that do have their estate plans in order, if it's more than 5 years old, you are going to need to make sure that it stays updated because tax laws especially change every they're constantly in flux, quite frankly. And so if your estate plan is just more than a few years old, you need to update it and make sure that you're taking maximum advantage of all the available opportunities to you. A lot of the business owners that do have estate plans in place report that they're actually wealthier since they created their estate plans to begin with. And 7 out of 10 reported that they created their estate, since they've created their estate plans, they have also experienced life-changing events, which is another reason to update your estate plan, whether you've gotten divorced or married recently, if you've had children that have been born, perhaps people that you named in your estate plan to begin with as your representatives or guardians for your children have already passed away. I mean, there's all sorts of things that would facilitate an update. So there's 6 basic steps to estate planning for business owners. You want to have your basic estate plan in place with your will, of course. You've got a plan for tax efficiencies, again, because the laws are changing constantly. You need to sort out issues in family-owned businesses, which is extremely important. You need to buy life and disability insurance and have those policies in place. Have a discussion with the people who will be affected by your estate plan, whether it happens to be your agents that you've named for certain jobs, or whether it's going to be your beneficiaries. And then again, update your estate plan as necessary. So starting with a will and a basic estate plan is the first thing that you need to do. With Royal Legal, we start with a living trust to hold your assets. It also states the wishes about how you want your assets to be divided upon your death. And it's a very important tool to avoiding the probate process once a person passes away. So probate is extremely expensive. It varies, this cost varies from state to state, of course, but that's one thing that you can completely avoid by creating a living trust to hold your assets. Then the will becomes an integral part of that. At Royal Legal, we create pour-over wills, they're called, simply because the will is very simple and it states that whatever remaining assets you have upon your death become part of your living trust. And that makes things much easier, again, because then you don't have to probate the will, your beneficiaries know where everything is going. So one thing also, you need a financial power of attorney to appoint another individual or several other individuals to manage your finances and undertake business transactions in the event that you're unable to do so for yourself. Somebody might be in a car accident and are unable to make decisions for their business for several months. You also need a healthcare power of attorney, naturally, which appoints, again, an individual that you trust to make medical decisions for you if you can't make them for yourself. If you don't have these basic documents in place, your company and your other assets will be divided up according to whatever laws are in your state, the intestate laws they called. An estate plan will ensure that someone you trust inherits your property and manages your business transactions on your behalf. So step 2, of course, is planning for tax efficiencies. Again, the laws are changing all the time, and so you need to have an ongoing discussion with your attorney and your financial advisor. And we can, by creating a series LLC that Scott mentioned at the beginning, we have a free LLC that we're doing right now here at Royal. You can divide your estate up into multiple trusts, but creating the series LLC is a much more efficient way to allow you to reduce your tax burden. Because again, if these assets are contained in LLCs, then you don't have that individual tax burden on your individual estate upon your death. Now, sorting out family issues in family-owned businesses is extremely important, because it's not uncommon that perhaps a business owner has several children, but maybe only one of them is interested in taking over the business, and another one has no interest in the business whatsoever. If you plan your estate properly, one solution for that scenario is that you could grant the business assets over to the child who wants to remain and run the business, and the remaining assets to your other children. That way, once you've passed away, there won't be any disagreements between your children as to who wants what and who's going to do what. Another common concern in family-owned businesses is keeping the assets within the family. Ordinarily, you would say you gave your business assets to your child, but the child is grown and married now. That means that child's spouse will also have a portion of the business if they get divorced or whatever. If you put your assets into a trust of any kind will protect the assets from creditors, from the divorced spouses of your beneficiaries, etc. It's really a very, not only a tax efficient, but a safekeeping way to safeguard your assets. Now, insurance, of course, is a very, very important aspect of owning a business. You not only need to have personal life and disability policy and name your living trust as the beneficiary, because then the assets will, again, go into your trust upon your death. But in a business, you have to have, they used to call them key man policies. Now we're politically correct. We call them a key person life and disability policy with the business as the beneficiary. Because that way, if something does happen to you, you're not only covered in your personal life and your family is able to go on with the money from your insurance policy proceeds, but your business will as well, because they will have money to compensate for the loss of the most important person, you, the business owner. Now, it's important also to have a discussion with all the parties that are affected by your estate plan. You want to make sure, it's very difficult to talk about, but you want to make sure that your family members know what's coming. Again, because it helps avoid conflict down the line with either children or siblings if you don't have children, etc., any family members. And again, if you're unsure of one of your children's interest in your family business, then you should talk about it for your estate planning purposes so that everybody knows where everybody stands. And then, of course, the most important thing is once you do your estate plan is to make sure that the people who are named as your agents, named as your representatives, know where to locate the original living trust, will, and your other estate planning documents, like your powers of attorney that you might need for your bank or for the hospital. Now, naturally, the last step will be to update your estate plan as necessary. It's really a good idea to, I mean, not all of us keep up with tax laws and how they change, but it's a good idea to kind of contact your attorney once a year or so, maybe every 2 years, wouldn't be too bad, just to make sure that everything is still up to date, make sure that, you know, anything that's changed in your life, the attorney is aware of. And then your attorney and you can decide if you need to update your trust, maybe amend it, or if you need to do a new will, or perhaps just make a codicil, which is an amendment to your will, to make sure that everyone stays current. So that's about all I've got. Estate planning is extremely important for everybody, but especially for entrepreneurs, because they're just in a very unique position. Their company is one of your biggest assets and something you worked very hard on. You want to make sure that you can preserve it. You want to make sure that it continues as a successful and thriving venture. So remember, there are tax, insurance, and family issues to think through and discuss with your attorney. Make sure that you, your loved ones, and your business will be well taken care of now and in the future.
That's awesome, Helen. Thank you so much for sharing that information with us here today. Guys, one of the things that we do with the estate planning process is we make it very, very easy. We have a form that we have that guides you through all of these considerations. A lot of these things you're probably not going to need to, to really think about here initially just to get an estate plan in place. One of the things that we run into time and time again is people think they have to have everything figured out all at the front end, and that's not the case. Having just a basic estate plan in place will save your family and save you time and money in the case anything ever happens, because now somebody gets to control those assets, gets to control your business, and to make sure that none of those assets are squandered that are going to be used to take care of your family. Now, at any time in the future that we want to address more of the nuanced issues as they come up, we're always going to be able to modify those. So you don't have to have it perfect. You just have to have it in place, and we can modify it as we go. And if you're a member of Royal Legal Solutions, that means those modifications don't cost you anything. And we're equipping you with live trained people to help guide you through this step by step. So you don't really have to know anything. We're going to hold your hand through the entire process. We're going to do just the amount that you feel like you need to get done today to make sure those basic protections are in place. And we can always add to it, modify it at any time, guys. So reach out to us at the royallegalsolutions.com website, or call us at 512-757-3994 and get a hold of one of my staff to be able to help you with that. When we combine the estate planning with the free LLC, that's how you're able to get the maximum benefit. This works synergistically together because the LLC is going to protect your assets while you're alive, and your estate plan is going to protect your assets when they pass to your heirs, while avoiding the probate process where they can caught up in the court system, while maintaining your anonymity of what was your wealth and who got it when you died. If you don't have these estate planning tools in place, assets get squandered. Everybody finds out what is you owned and who got it. What could be worse? You're really setting up your beneficiaries and your family up for a lot of pain if you don't take these proactive measures. And we make it so easy for you to do that. We even give you a free LLC just to make sure that you have all of your I's dotted and T's crossed. So go to royallegalsolutions.com to go check out all the great information that we have on there. If you want to learn more about estate plans, when you're ready to talk to somebody, just call us at the number, the 512-757-3994. We're going to be happy to speak with you and talk to you about what does this process look like, show you how painless and easy it really is to get it done. Just in just a couple of days, you'll be able to have this checked off of your list and never have to think about it again unless you want to. So thank you, Helen, for so much for coming in and sharing this information with us today. Thank you so much for tuning in to this show here today about estate planning. And I look forward to hearing from all you guys here in the comments. If you like this video, share it to your friends. Everybody really needs to get protected and have an estate plan put in place. It's the only way to make sure that our children are protected from all the bad things that could happen in the future regarding, who takes care of them. What are the assets going to be? And those laundry list of issues. So comment down below. Also share it with your people. And let me know if there's anything else that you guys want to know about estate planning. I'm happy to bring Helen back on here to share about those topics. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.